let me ask you a question. What if I told you that one of the most common pieces of plant care advice, water once a week, is responsible for killing thousands of healthy houseplants every single day? It sounds logical. It sounds simple. And that is exactly why so many people believe it. But here is the problem. Your plant does not know it is Tuesday. It does not care that 7 days have passed. It only responds to what is happening around it, and inside it today. Today, I am going to show you how experienced indoor gardeners decide exactly when to water, without using a calendar or fixed schedule. By the end of this video, you will start making watering decisions the same way professionals do. And stay with me, because later, I will share a simple 30-second test that can tell you whether your plant truly needs water before you pour a single drop. If you have ever searched online for watering advice, you have probably seen answers like, water every Friday, or water once weekly. Those recommendations are not necessarily bad, they are just incomplete. Imagine asking a doctor, how much water should every person drink? The answer depends on age, weather, activity level, and health. The same is true for plants. Every single indoor plant varies. A snake plant in a cool room does not drink water at the same speed as a pothose near a bright window. Even two identical plants can have different watering needs. That is why professionals do not ask how many days it has been. They ask, what is the plant telling me today? And that is exactly what we are going to learn in this video. Not how to follow a schedule, but how to read a living plant. Most people think the biggest watering mistake is overwatering. Others believe it is underwatering. Surprisingly, neither is the real problem. The biggest mistake is watering without collecting information first. Think about it. Imagine walking into your kitchen and taking medicine without knowing what illness you have. That would make no sense. Yet many people do exactly that with plants. Every Saturday morning they grab the watering can and water everything, no questions asked. Professional growers do something completely different. They pause, they observe, they collect clues, and then they decide on watering. Watering is not a routine, it is a decision. And every good decision begins with careful observation. Your plant gives you information. The interesting part is, your plant rarely stays silent. It communicates all the time, not with words, but with clear visual signals. The challenge is not getting information, the challenge is learning how to notice it. Some signals are obvious, others are subtle. The more you practice reading them, the less you will rely on guessing. Eventually, watering becomes almost instinctive for you. Not because you are lucky, but because you trained yourself to observe before acting. Years ago, I visited a friend's collection. Every single Sunday morning, he watered all of them without exception. Some looked fantastic, while others struggled constantly in pots. He assumed certain species were simply difficult. But the plants were not the problem, the rigid watering routine was the issue. When he stopped watering according to the calendar and started paying attention individually, something surprising happened to his plants. The difficult plants suddenly became much easier to care for. Nothing magical had changed, his decision-making had changed completely. In a moment, I am going to show you the first thing experienced growers check before watering any houseplant. It is so simple that most beginners completely overlook it, yet it prevents countless watering mistakes from happening inside your home. Here is a simple mindset shift that changes everything. Instead of asking, when should I water, ask, why water today? At first, that question may feel strange, but it is the question professionals ask, whether consciously or unconsciously. Every watering decision should have a reason. Maybe soil has dried enough, or weather has been unusually warm recently. Maybe the plant is producing new growth and using water faster. Maybe it has been brighter this week than last week. Notice something, none of those reasons involve counting days. They are based on current environmental conditions, not habit. A plant's thirst is not fixed, it changes constantly. Let us look at the 5 biggest influences on watering needs. First, light. A plant receiving brighter light usually uses water faster, not because it is hungrier, but more active. Second, temperature. A warm apartment naturally causes moisture to disappear more quickly than a cool room in your home. That means the exact same plant might need water sooner in July than in January during colder winter months. Third, pot size. A small container dries much faster than a larger one under identical room conditions. 2 identical plants in different sized pots may have completely different watering rhythms. Fourth, plant growth. A plant pushing out several new leaves works much harder than one resting through a slower winter season. Growth changes demand. Finally, your home environment. Airflow, heating, air conditioning, open windows, even moving shelves. can slightly change how quickly soil dries. This is why copying someone else's schedule rarely works for your plants. You are not growing your plants in their home, you are growing them in yours. Think differently from today forward. Don't think, my Monstera needs water every 8 days. Think, my Monstera needs water whenever conditions tell me. That single change in thinking will improve your plant care more than buying expensive fertilizers or fancy tools. Because healthy watering is not about memory, it is about awareness. Now learn how professionals decide quickly. How do experienced indoor gardeners decide whether to water? Surprisingly, they do not begin by pouring water. They begin by collecting evidence. Think of yourself as a detective. Your job is investigating, not guessing at all. And the entire process takes less than 30 seconds. Step 1. Look at the soil before touching anything. Is the surface dark and moist, or lighter and drier? This is not your final answer, it is your first clue. Remember, the surface dries much faster than soil deeper inside the pot. Never decide on appearance alone. Step 2. Feel the soil. Gently insert your index finger about an inch or 2 into the potting soil. What do you notice? Does it still feel cool and slightly damp, or dry with no moisture clinging to skin? You are simply asking, is there still usable moisture below the surface? If yes, wait. If no, move onward. Step 3. Lift the pot. This is one of the simplest professional habits, and almost nobody talks about it. Lift the pot just a few centimeters off the table. Healthy, moist soil feels noticeably heavier to your hands. Dry soil becomes surprisingly light. At first, you may not notice, but after weeks, your hands recognize it instantly. Many experienced growers know whether a plant needs water before looking at leaves. Hands tell them first. You learned 2 powerful clues. But what if soil feels dry, yet you still should not water? Let us solve that. Here is a mistake many people make. They focus only on soil and completely ignore the actual plant behavior. But watering decisions become much more accurate when you combine both. Look at the leaves, do they appear firm? Or have they become soft and slightly limp? Notice stems, are they standing confidently, or weaker than usual today? Think about recent behavior. Has it been producing new growth, or has everything slowed down significantly? None of these signs automatically mean water is needed. But together, they help you understand the bigger picture. Professionals rarely rely on a single clue, they look for patterns. Imagine your plant is having a conversation. One signal may be unclear, 5 signals together tell a clear story. Run through this quick professional checklist. Is soil dry below surface? Does pot feel lighter? Has plant been using water actively? Have conditions changed recently? Do leaves and stems support the same conclusion? If most answers point together, your decision becomes much easier. No guessing, no calendar, no stress. Imagine 2 pothose plants of same age and species, bought the same day. One sits beside a bright east-facing window, the other sits several feet inside the room away from light. Would you water them together? Most beginners would. A professional would not, because daily conditions differ. One dries faster, the other holds moisture longer. Professionals do not create schedules, they create observation habits. One of the biggest differences between beginners and experienced growers is not knowledge, it is patience. Beginners react immediately. A single drooping leaf, they water. A yellow leaf, they water again. Growth slows, more water. Professionals pause and investigate, because they know something important. Not every plant problem is a watering problem. Sometimes the smartest decision is to do nothing. Observe for another day, collect another clue, then decide carefully. Plants do not expect perfect owners, they benefit from thoughtful ones. At the start, I promised a simple habit. Here it is, never water because you remember, water because your plant gives you permission through observation. Not from your calendar, not from habit, not from guilt. This single mindset shift changes everything for plant owners. Once you begin trusting evidence instead of routine, watering becomes calmer, simpler, and far more accurate overall. If you remember only one thing today, your goal is not becoming someone who waters plants perfectly every time. Your goal is becoming someone who notices what plants are trying to say through soil, weight, leaves, and environment. None of these clues works perfectly alone, but together they create a reliable picture of plant moisture health. That is how professionals make watering decisions, not by following rigid rules, but by understanding living signals. The more you practice this skill, the more confident you will become. You will stop asking, is it watering day? And you will start asking, what is my plant telling me today? That is when plant care becomes a relationship. If today's video changed your thinking, type one word in comments: observation. Let us stop watering schedules forever. Like this video and subscribe to the channel for practical indoor plant skills that work in real homes weekly. Share this video with anyone who waters on Sundays. It might save more than one houseplant today.